Greetings, dear viewers, ladies and gentlemen. This is Addis Dialogue, a weekly talk show, a discussion dedicated to in-depth interviews and discussions currently unfolding in Addis Ababa in the continent of Africa. Ethiopia and Israel enjoy a long-standing bilateral relations on various areas. Both countries reestablished diplomatic relations in 1992. Ethiopia has an embassy in Tel Aviv, and Israel has an embassy here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. My guest today is Ambassador Abraham Nuguse. He is Ambassador of the State of Israel in Ethiopia. I'm your host, Tigist Sarnisa. Do stay with us. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so very much for availing yourself for this interview. We do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming also to our embassy.
Let's talk about the prospects for enlarging and enhancing the Ethio-Israeli ties, which dates back to biblical times, particularly in the areas of technology and politics.
The Ethio-Israel relationship is a unique relationship, historical relationship in many aspects. Starting from the biblical time, the relationship is unique. As it is written in the book of Kings, chapter 10, the first diplomat, Queen of Sheba, visited Jerusalem, King Solomon. That was 3,000 years ago. So this relationship is continued until today with a unique way. Because the Ethiopian tradition, culture, religion, history is also similar to the history of the Jewish people. As we see in the 5 books of Moses, the books, the Chronicles, the Judges, and the Prophets, we read in the Bible that every areas of the Bible, the Ethiopian name is mentioned and appeared. And the cooperation with the two peoples is a unique one. And that historical unique relationship is continued today in a modern way. When Israel was re-established in the modern state of Israel in 1948, Ethiopia has played a vital role on its establishment, the relationship with King Haile Selassie, which is, and then after the state of Israel established, Israel, a newly established state, has strengthened its relationship with Ethiopia in all aspects: military, cultural, religion, and also education. Most of the Ethiopia here in Addis Ababa also we see the constructions, what we see, the ancient construction is being designed by Israeli architects. And the Solel Bone was one of the construction company who has played a vital role here with the infrastructures of Ethiopia. And Ethiopia has also played a vital role on the strengthening and established of the newly Jewish state. Today, that relationship is even stronger in a unique way, because the existence of more than 170,000 Ethiopian Jews in Israel today, that this community, which is I'm belonging to that community, continue to play a vital role on the strengths of the two countries. Culturally, when you go to Israel today, you can find little Ethiopia in the food, dressing, music, sport, in all aspects. Is you see that the culture of Ethiopia, the tradition, is in Israel. Economically, the Ethiopian Jews is really able to come back to Ethiopia to establish organizations, investments, and culturally based and increasing tourism to Ethiopia. And also, they're bringing the Israeli investors with capitals to use the Israeli experience, as Israel is a startup nation and succeeded in its economy based on technology. That experience and that technology can be transferred to Ethiopia, and we can see it in all aspects in agriculture. We see the avocado agriculture and the health services, innovation and technology, and culturally. When we see it, the relationship today may not be as stronger in the economic aspect, I'm saying, as stronger as it is in the historical aspect. Therefore, it is my duty now to raise it and more strengthen the two countries' relationship with the economical and the innovation and the technological aspects.
Delving more deeply into the ties, let's now redirect our attention to creating strong trade and investment cooperation. What major successful outcomes have been achieved in involving Israeli investors as well as companies to flock to Ethiopia?
Well, there are many areas that Israelis can invest in Ethiopia. If we take the area of agriculture, Israel has experience of blooming the desert, and that used the technology such as dripping irrigation system. And Ethiopia is blessed in natural resources such as sunlight, water, and human capital, and fertile lands. So if the Israeli technology and the Ethiopian fertile land meet together here in Ethiopia, it is possible to produce what not only enough for Ethiopia, it can be also enough for Africa. So Ethiopia can be a leading country in the economic growth in the continent of Africa. If we go to the area of the health system, the Israeli technology and experiences in modern medical services is when the Ethiopian doctors and the Israeli doctors together exchange knowledges and experiences, that also brings a big difference. As an example, which I can mention to you, I'm here 4 months. Through 4 months, 10 delegations came to Ethiopia in agriculture, innovation, mining, and health service areas. There was at least 5 of them were the health service areas. The cardiologists, surgery, coordinating with the Black Lion Hospital and the pediatric doctors, coordinating with Alert Hospital, and the eye operation, the Operation Ethiopia organization is working intensively with the St. Paul Hospital, the Mekelle Hospital, and the Desi Hospital, and earlier with the Gondar and Bahardar Hospital. And the trauma professors were here working capacity building with Alert and Yekatit 12 hospitals. These are a few examples with the health services. There are many doctors who go to Israel to be trained, and there are doctors and coming to gain experiences and exchange knowledge here in Ethiopia. In the innovation, we just had G2G, the government-to-government project, with the Ministry of Innovation and Technology. We had just in the beginning of November, 4 experts who have been sent by the State of Israel here to share the Israelis' experience in the ecosystem, AI, and the general digital system. And that these 4 experts shared their experiences and knowledges with the Ministry of Innovation and Technology, with the University of Addis Ababa, Institution of Technology of Addis Ababa, and with the Central Bank of Ethiopia, and with United Nations Economic Cooperation for Africa, and the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. The main purpose is that bringing international organization to the bilateral relationship with the 2 countries is when Israel comes with its experience and knowledge, the international organization can empower the projects by raising finances, supporting financially. So these are the strategies that we are working. And of course, tourism is a very important area. Tourism not only important on the economical aspects, it is also very important on introducing and knowing each other of the 2 peoples, especially the new generation. The new generation, the young people, should know who are the Israelis. At the same time, the new generation of the Israeli people should also come and visit the beautiful landscape of Ethiopia. And this is, which is very important, and the Ethiopian people, which is Israel, is the source of the 3 Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So there are holy places that the Ethiopian people come and visit, these holy sites in Israel. Therefore, it's a very important opportunities. So when I come here, I said, this is a historical opportunity to strengthen these 2 countries, must be raised and came to the highest level.
How ready and committed is your leadership to see to that investors hailing from old and glorious nation of Israel to roll into Ethiopia to tap its potentials?
Yes, because knowing the 2 countries and knowing the 2 countries, the historical and the cultural side, it gives me encouragement and power to convince and explain the Israeli investors. These 10 delegations came because before I came here, I met these delegations and I encouraged them and facilitated their coming to Ethiopia. We have many ways to explain the reality in Ethiopia. As I said, that Ethiopia is blessed in natural resources, in human capital and other areas. And also the economic reforms and the government programs that are really pushing the Ethiopian economy up, and that also gives the opportunity for foreign investors to come and to invest in Ethiopia. And so we have to explain and bring to the aware of these investors to Israel in the communication ways. You know, you have the social media as well as also the mainstream media in Israel. We have in Hebrew language, in English language, and we have Amharic language medias also in Israel. So through that we see, and then also in our head offices also, there are areas where encouraging Israelis to come and invest to Ethiopia.
Historically, both nations do enjoy and also share nearly similar ancient civilization, oldest tangible and intangible heritage. So in terms of enhancing cultural exchange, what do you think needs to be done, or what has been done so far with this regard?
Of course, the two peoples are the source of ancient civilization. So these ancient civilization can really be played as a vital role on the strengthening of the modern time. Because the two countries and the two peoples are rich in history and depend their own religious and cultural tradition. See, if we take Israel, is a source of, as I said, the three religions and the modernization also. So that is really continuing and strengthening these ancient tradition in a modern way. For example, the two countries, they have the unique relationship which other countries they don't have. As I mentioned earlier, the Ethiopian Jews is a living bridge between the two countries. This is one fact, which other countries don't have that opportunity. And also for Israel, Ethiopia is a very close, the Ethiopian people are very close to the Israeli tradition. If you go to the churches and all are based on the 5 books of Moses that has been used in the ancient Jewish service traditions are serving here. We can see it. And these are a very important situation which lead us to the modern situation, because there is confidence and belief by the two people and the two countries.
The Green Legacy Initiative, embraced for 6 consecutive years, is a springboard to accelerate efforts on adaptation and climate resilience. How could Israel pitch into this worthwhile effort, do you think?
Yes, Israel has experience on the green legacy because when Israel was established, the area was a desert, and today Israel is green because using the green legacy program. We have a special organization for this called CACAL, or the planting and making green the country. That's a semi-government organization which is really helped to make Israel forest, and putting every year we have a program of planting trees, and that tradition experiences is also using a modern technology, and that can be really been also, Ethiopia is also using this green legacy. We can exchange on this reality, and in my program, in my plan, is to bring expertise, experienced expertise from Israel, how they used the modern technology on advancing green legacy, and will meet together with the Ethiopian expertise. So when the two experts sit together and research and implement these green legacy program, I am sure Ethiopia also will be green. Naturally, Ethiopia is green, but that also will be very helpful.
Israel is well known for its deep irrigation technology since 1950s, and in order to help Ethiopian farmers to cope with arid climate and water scarcity, what sort of technology exchange has been done so far with this regard?
Yes, we have an organization, Mashav, which is an Israeli international agency for development and cooperation. And through this organization within the Foreign Ministry of Israel, we have here a mutual development, mutual programs with the Ethiopian farmers. There are programs going through the Ministry of Agriculture, coordinating with the Ministry of Agriculture. There are private small agriculture entities who are also using these modern irrigation, this dripping irrigation system. In the south, in the north, in every area now is working with, but I'm not saying it is enough. We have to make it wider, bigger, all these programs. We have the capacity building programs where through Mashav, the Ethiopian agriculture, those who are interested in developing agriculture and using modern technologies, are really go to Israel, travel to Israel, and went through the Mashav training programs, as we do for other African countries, also for Ethiopia. So they come here, they come to Israel, and they went through how to use the modern technologies and in agriculture, especially, as you mentioned, a dripping irrigation system. Of course, the capacity building also for other areas, for health, for cultural, and for human, for women and child development. And these other programs also, the people from Ethiopia going to Israel and trained and come back here, and they create their own projects. So we have many like that. And these trained also established themselves a club. The club is called Shalom Club. So those who went through training in Israel, they have also a club here which they can meet and learn one another. And the Masha program also is ready for those who are creating a project for starting. They're also financing help for these farmers to do. This is in the area of the agriculture area.
Also, Ethiopia, the nation, has embarked on a journey of healing past wounds and clearing away some faulty lines via the national dialogue. Your take on that, Mr. Ambassador?
Yeah, look, dialogue is the best way to create a unified, a productive society. Israel has experience on that. The Israeli society is established from more than 100 countries. Jewish, after, scattered throughout the world and come back in 1948 and established the modern Israel. And it is historical and biblical land of Israel with its capital, Jerusalem. These people came from more than 100 countries, like the Ethiopian Jews, the Russian Jews, American Jews, and Moroccan Jews, and everywhere from the four corners of the earth come back together and act as one family, as one nation. Although we have different colors, we have different languages, we have different cultures, but we are one people in our land. And that is really as a museum of coexistence. And I think we can contribute on this also, although Ethiopia was the first teaching and introducing to the world multiculturalism and coexistence as a different ethnic people. So Ethiopia has introduced and taught to the world how different religious people, those who are different in religion, Islam, Christian, and other religion, and those who are ethnically different, languages and like that, but live as one Ethiopian. So Israel and Ethiopia has experience, and working together will also contribute on this area.
Ambassador Abraham Nuguse, Israeli ambassador to Ethiopia, we truly appreciate you for availing yourself for this interview. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you so much for coming to our embassy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our Addis Dialogue this week's edition. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Tigis Nisa with the whole technical crew. Bye-bye.